Hello everyone and welcome to the 3.0 gearing guide. This is just going to be a general guide to gearing your class. Now we're going to cover DPS first. Now quite a few things that you should know about DPS. One, gearing them is a bitch. It is an absolute bitch in this expansion. I hate gearing DPS. So I'm here on my gunslinger. Not very well geared. We'll take a look at her gear. She's not the best of gear. She has a mismatch of 192 mods and enhancements. Bear in mind my main is a scoundrel, so anything that gets left over from my scoundrel, anything my scoundrel doesn't need, things like these 192 armorings that we got, a couple of 192 armorings. We have full 186 though, and we have our most important stat, which is accuracy. We have that capped. So that is where you're going to start from a DPS perspective. As soon as you hit 60, your goal for gearing is cap your accuracy. You can see we're 100%, 0.01, that's pretty good. We've got a reasonable amount of accuracy. Now my cunning is a little bit skewed because I still have this purple anodyne stim on, but I'm not taking it off because it's got another 3 hours to go, so you know, they're not that expensive to craft actually, these stims. So we are dirty fighting spec. Ignore my utilities because they're for questing and not for raiding. So your first priority is to cap your accuracy. Now we're going to go to the basic gear vendor. We're going to have a look at what we can get with accuracy in them. So we're looking at the targeters things, not the menders. So your targeter's jacket is the obvious one to go for. Power accuracy, usually your #1 priority. The other things are the head and the pants. They have crit accuracy. Now a lot of people do tend to replace the crit with power if you have the comms spare. I've done that with the pants. I've done it with the head, sorry. You can see here we have 102 accuracy, 86 power in that instead of crit. With this one I have kept it as crit because we do want some crit. Depending on your spec, we do want a little bit of crit. I am the dot spec, which is dirty fighting, which does rely quite a bit on crit. We want our dots to crit, so I probably want to get to 25% crit. So it tells you everything that gives you crit. Aim, cunning, crit rating. So we're gonna look at we'll take a look at our tech on this side. So again, we probably want to get, we're only 23% tech crit. That's because of aim, basically, is if you hunt for the aim datacrons, which you should be doing, it does give you a little bit extra ranged crit, but bear in mind most of your dots are tech. Anything that hits the target with your guns tends to be ranged. Anything that's like a grenade or anything in yellow basically is a tech attack generally. Anything in white is a ranged attack, so things like speed shot is a ranged attack. Corrosive grenade, if it'll let me mouse over it, corrosive grenade tends to be a, not corrosive grenade, sharp bomb I should say, just to the sniper, sorry. Sharp bomb tends to be a tech thing, so anything that deals like internal damage comes from tech, and anything that hits with your blasters generally is ranged. So you want 110 on your tech and 100 on your ranged or melee. And again, replace this. If you're a melee class, this will be melee. If you're a Jedi or Sith, this will be force instead of tech. Now we talk about the things that are pretty badly geared. Again, you can if you want get extra power accuracy from them, and power accuracy we've got there. We've kept some crit. We've also gone crit accuracy in the boots. Now the boots, by default, the 186 boots, where's our targeters boots, they're up here, have crit surge, which aren't too bad, but we'd rather have accuracy than surge, to be honest with you, because we want to hit things. It's the biggest loss of DPS comes from not hitting things, and you can see I have 8 pieces of gear. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of gear with accuracy in them. The implants are by default are not very good for the targeter. We do want the accuracy. And targeter's implant, power surge, which kind of sucks to be honest. Power surge is a terrible stat. if we're honest. As you can see, we do give up a little bit of endurance, but it is worth it to gain the accuracy. Personally, I'd rather have the accuracy. I want to be able to hit things. That is the basic goal of this, is to hit things. So I buy the ones from GTN. We tend to buy them from there. They have power accuracy in them. They're always worth buying. Bear in mind you can augment these. You can buy these from level 56 as well. The Yavin Targeter's earpiece is pretty nice. Power accuracy again. These have crit in them, your belt and bracers, but because I'm quite heavy into power with all these things, I just left them as crit. Some people change them for power, but bear in mind we do want a little bit of crit for our dot spec. We want our dots to crit because we're doing lots of little attacks. It helps us out. The offhand tends to be power surge. The main hand I tend to just make power accuracy as well. Tend to go with that. For augments, because my crit is fairly low, I tend to go with cunning, because if we mouse over what your abilities do, cunning increases your not only your ranged and tech damage, but your ranged and tech crit chance as well. Aim only increases your ranged crit chance as well, so it's not worth taking anything with aim in it, to be honest. Take the aim datacrons maybe. That's what I would suggest you do. Just take the aim ones. It's going to be an improvement. It's going to be an improvement to your range damage. Nothing to do with your tech. Healing power we don't use as a gunslinger. But again, we do want the difference between power and main stat, because that always tends to be the debate. Power or main stat is power will only increase your damage. It will only increase your ranged and tech damage. It will not increase your crit. So if you want a little bit of crit, we don't want to have too low a crit, really, and especially in a dot spec. Now our surge as well, which is our crit multiplier, is fairly low. We probably want to get that up a little bit, but again, because we're so heavily invested in accuracy, that we can never really get our surge up. Again, we dropped surge to gain accuracy. We got power surge in the gloves, and I think that's the only thing, and of course the offhand. That's the only two items that we have with surge in them right now, so that's why our surge is pretty low. It is worth noting that if we go up a gear tier, so let's go look at the 192 set, we'll look at the commendation set, that we do get more accuracy. You can see we get 111 accuracy from this. Is that the targeter? Yeah, it's 111 versus 100. Well, we are dropping accuracy because this is augmented for accuracy. So yeah, again, to get to accuracy cap, it is 8 pieces if you don't have the bonus from your companions. This character was a 12 times XP level character, thus doesn't have any of the bonuses. So you're gonna need 8 PCs plus 1 blue augment will be enough. You don't have to buy the purple one, just get the blue one really, unless you really want the extra endurance. Which I don't really care about. This will get replaced, that's why I only buy the blue ones, to be honest. Anything that's going to get replaced, tend to buy blue ones. That's my rule of thumb. But bear in mind that we are going to get more accuracy per piece. Bear in mind we will have to maybe buy 2 chest pieces for that. That's why I tend to just keep the one thing there. Again, we get 9 extra accuracy ratings, so we will be able to drop some accuracy. Probably the implants, because they were crafted implants that we bought on GTN, so we're probably going to ditch the implants when we go up a gear tier. Now when you're going up to 192, you probably will go to maybe 101, maybe 102% accuracy, and then start optimizing. Like, don't drop accuracy for things. So for instance, example, we're not going to buy the boots, because the boots are... Well, where's our boots? Where's our Masasi? The boots are crit surge. If we take a look at the set bonus stuff from this vendor, we can see that these tend to be a little bit better itemized. We are professional, aren't we? Yeah, we're professional. That's ours. We are professional. Resurrected Professional's jacket is crit surge. That's pretty terrible. So the boots are again power alacrity. That's horrible. Crit accuracy, that's a bit better. You can see the professional ones are pretty bad. Power alacrity, We don't really want to think about alacrity until we're in 198, to be honest with you. But the package, crit alacrity again. Crit surge. Jeez, these are horrible. What's the enforcers ones? The field medic is crit alacrity, power alacrity. Take your choice there, I guess. It's better choice for the healer, but the field tech. Haven't looked at the field or the enforcer, should we say? Power surge, yeah, you're gonna take the enforcer ones because they're non-set bonus. So the enforcer one is the scoundrel. Yeah, laceration, this corrosive assault, or sucker punch. Yep, yeah, we don't have them. So we definitely probably gonna get the enforcers one, which again is only available from ops. The resurrected stuff is the stuff that everybody wants, essentially. But again, so unless we're still keeping one of these, we'll probably drop one of these because we could probably drop 102 accuracy. Because again, just getting more accuracy per piece as we go up the gear tiers. Again, we'll take a look at 198 from the ultimate comm vendor. We're definitely going to buy the chest piece because it has accuracy power in it. Again, 120 accuracy. We're moving up in the world as well. This, again, we'll have a look at that. Again, it's a bit more accuracy. So we can eventually drop gear. We will be able to drop, and then eventually we'll be able to have power surge as an implant. But a lot of people are kind of annoyed at the DPS. It is a bit of a pain. And I'll show you what I mean by a pain. Now, I got these boots. I did a raid on this character. I got these Masasi Targeters boots. And I can't use them. Honestly, I just can't use them. Crit Surge, not the stats I want. I took the armoring out, and I put the armoring in. Raiders Cove Targeters boots, which are 186 mods. I put the armoring in, and that was it. So I don't get why they still sell as mods, because Crit Surge, yes, we probably will get more stats out of that, probably will get more cunning out of it, we probably will get more endurance per piece. As we can see here, it's 82 cunning and that's 90 endurance. So again, we probably get 82 endurance, 117 cunning. They probably are more cunning and endurance. These are, yeah, 75 endurance, 108 cunning. But the problem is we could maybe replace this, actually. We could put the mod in, actually. That's what we'll do. But the enhancement, nah, it's useless. We need that accuracy. We just need that accuracy. What we will do is pop the mod in. I forgot it was only the enhancement that we're talking about. So there you go. We got two pieces at least. So you can see it is 82 endurance, 117 cunning, 48 crit. They're a little bit more crit for us. So we're kind of in this awkward kind of place where it's not really about the gear anymore. It's not about getting, you know, going from 192 to 198. It's all about optimization is more important than the actual gear that you're wearing. It's better to be in an optimized set of 186 gear than an unoptimized set of 192 gear. You're going to do much better. You're going to do much more damage in raids as a result of that. So accuracy is very important. Some people say how important can it be? But if you imagine, you know, if you're playing this spec or you're playing this spec, probably doesn't really, because it doesn't rely on one big hit. But if, say, your dirty shot, let's look at our dirty shot, if that resists, it's a massive DPS loss. You know, we shoot the target for 2,000, dirty blast, should we say. Imagine that resists, imagine the internal damage resists as well. It may only be like a 1% chance to resist, but we don't want to take that chance. It's a huge DPS loss. Hemorrhaging blast won't resist. Speed shot, if some of our ticks of speed shot resist. Wounding shots is the key one. If they resist, it's a disaster. The best spec to explain it would be sharpshooter. Can you imagine if your ambush resists? That's a huge loss. Ambush, or aimed shot should we say. Again, we're referring to it by the sniper. If your aimed shot is resisted, it's a disaster. It's a disaster for a DPS. If we get things are penetrating, where is it? Penetrating rounds, what's it called? Penetrating rounds, yeah. If some of them get resisted, again, because most of our damage in sharpshooter comes from these two, comes from our aim shot, comes from our penetrating rounds. If they get resisted, you know, it's a huge loss for us. If even two of them get resisted, it is a huge loss. The best spec to explain it is the telekinetic sage. Yeah, you might have a lot of surge. You might have like 72% surge so that your turbulence will hit like a truck. But if that gets resisted, your whole rotation is screwed. Your whole damage rotation is pretty much screwed if that are resisted. If you're gonna be, we want consistency from DPS. That's the big thing we want, is we want consistent damage. And accuracy gives us that consistent damage. We are guaranteed we are going to hit. We know our shots are going to hit. We know our wounding shots are going to hit. We know our corrosive grenade isn't going to be resisted. We know these things are going to hit. We know our dirty blast is going to hit. Yeah, it might not hit as hard, but it is going to hit. And bear in mind that over the course of a raid, or of the course of a boss fight, you know, those resists will add up. We want that 100% accuracy. That's why we tend to say it's the biggest loss of DPS, is resisting, because if it resists, it does no damage. You know, if it does, you know, 5% less damage, but it is always guaranteed to hit, it's better over the course of a boss fight. We tend to find it's going to produce better results, because we don't want inconsistent damage. That's our biggest kind of gripe, is because then can we replicate that? Can we repeat that? Because if we wipe on a boss and then we're getting, you know, what, 3k DPS on the first attempt, and then you get 1.9k on the second attempt because, you know, a couple of things got resisted, I would say that it's just more consistent. It's just more consistent across DPS. So that's why it is a race to cap our accuracy. Relics, you can just buy the Rusan relics. I just buy the blue ones because I honestly don't think the purple 186 relics are worth it, to be honest. They're about 4 times the price at the moment of the blue ones, and they don't give you 4 times the stats. Bear in mind that Malafar the Savage in Temple of Sacrifice does drop a 1921. Pretty easy, actually. It's easy to do Malafar and HM as well. That'll get you a 198 relic if you're lucky enough to win it, but nobody really wants the relics right now, to be honest with you. They are better than Dreadforged, and they are better than the old Oboran PvP ones, because they give you 810 of your main stat and 810 power. So it tends to be that we go for these. I like the procky ones for DPS. They're pretty nice because you're always doing damage as a DPS. So obviously there are times when they proc. The time we want it to proc is of course before our wounding shots, because that's the majority of our damage, but we do have things that can enhance our wounding shots, like Smuggler's Luck and illegal mods we can use with them. So it is nice to get, if you get everything lined up, you can do a lot of damage as a gunslinger with them. So that is all for this video. We're not going to cover every single class in gearing because most DPS classes are the same. We are going to cover healing next. We may take a look at tanking. I'll take a look at the Vanguard tank probably in the future, as soon as I get her to 60 and have an experiment around with some stats. Generally it's shield for the Vanguard. But yeah, that is all. Again, I try to get a decent amount of crit because I want my dots to crit. Because I think, do we get critical damage bonus for our dots? I think we do get critical damage bonuses. I know we definitely get it in the other spec. Increase the critical hit chance of all periodic effects by 10%. So again, increasing our crit is going to be a 10% increase. So whatever our base crit is, it's going to be 10% higher than that. So we've got, what, 33% of our dots to crit. Probably want that up closer to maybe sort of 35-40% maybe. Again, just so that they will crit. Because getting them to crit, because we do lots of little things, we do want them to crit. Sharpshooter is pretty much the same. All 3 specs are pretty much the same. Sharpshooter does have things like your critical damage bonus. Increased critical damage dealt by aimed shot, penetrating rounds, and trick shot, charge bursts, and quick draw by 30%. So again, you do want a little bit of crit because you do want those things to be critting. Bearing in mind that you do have the auto crit on aimed shot as well, and wounding shots in this spec. So they're pretty much the same there. Both specs are pretty much the same gear wise. I don't really know that much about SWTOR because I kind of gave up on it at level 30, so I've never really played SWTOR. But dirty fighting and sharpshooter, yeah, the gunslinger specs are all pretty much the same stat priority really. We do want more surge, but surge is our lowest priority stat at the moment, just because we need so much accuracy. The other thing we could do is to get our affection up with our companions. As you can see, we just rushed through leveling this character because my main was a sniper, and I switched, well, not my main, but my kind of main ranged DPS was a sniper, and that was the first character I leveled. So I leveled this character fairly quickly, so we have none of the companion bonuses on this character. If you get all your companions maxed affection, you do get 1% accuracy, so we could drop accuracy. It will drop to 7 pieces then, so if you have that. But again, this character, because we switched from Empire to Republic, we just leveled her very, very fast. We just leveled her very fast so that we could do some level 60 content. That's why we have to take the extra piece of gear, the extra piece of aim. Accuracy, should I say, not aim. But yeah, that is what I have done. So that is all for this video. We'll cover the healer next. The healer will be dependent on class because the healers are a little bit different. So that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon, and goodbye.